So the ping can get pretty brutal. We saw in our ping test, which we had to do for the first time in OSL, a player above 350 ping. So because of that, despite both teams originally agreeing to meet in the middle and host in a more ideal scenario so that there could be a fairer game. It was not doable. We've had to default back to our rules, which means a team from Mumbai will need to play on Singapore servers against OCE teams. So that is what we're doing. Oblivion will be playing his killer sets from Singapore. As we do load in, we have the Blight up. Following this, we will be seeing the Krasu, a first time in OSL, and if we get to our tiebreaker, I'm not too sure what that is right now. Let me take a quick look-see. It will be the Lich on Dead Dog. So some fun sets to bring us back. Hassa, welcome back as well. Been a bit. How you feeling?
Yep. Honestly, I've never had such a big smile on my face. The big man, Sir Smonk on the Survivor, on the Ace as well. Sir Smonk taking reigns. He wants it all. He wants all that aura. So respect to the big Sir Smonk. So this is going to be an incredible watch. Obviously, we have a light on Suppo. One end. I don't know if you noticed, Chief, but I sure did. We have Deadlock coming into play. So this will be a very nice combination as we are going to vault the window. We might even catch our Survivor off guard here. I don't think we make this pallet. We do bounce off the generator that is corrupted, and we do get the down. So very nicely done on the side of Oblivion. Now, is anyone there for the pallet save? No, they are not. So we are going to get a hook down in basement with Ruin in the background. So that will be cranking down those motors. Now, keep in mind, everybody, Sir Smonk, for those who don't know, is a killer main. This man doesn't really touch the survivors. I've never really, are we pubbing? He never says that on the survivor side. So this is going to be an incredible watch. Love Sir Smonk, love the whole of CatJam. So Chief, I mean, we got a Blight, we got a quick, action game because Blight is such a strong killer, of course. So, I mean, Deadlock, what are your thoughts on that perk selection that Oblivion's got running?
Oh, Hassa, I mean, I had this conversation so many times throughout all of Division 2. Deadlock was allowed in Division 2, and it was the first time we've seen it allowed in OSL, and I was so excited. I thought it was going to get a lot of value on these S-tier sets, but we didn't have any believers down there. We saw the Pop Eruption Call of Brine being ran on every single game, and Div 1 has looked very similar, obviously that combo being banned, but Ruin taking the place of Call of Brine instead. It looked very normal, but here we do see Stormslight coming in for the save. She is getting body blocked beautifully by Oblivion on these stairs. Leggy does go second for that. We have to get the trade anyways because we're all the way stuck in basement. This is very problematic for our survivors. We don't get the hit on the BT. We just don't time that. But yeah, we do hit just too early. So Leggy will have a little bit of grace being able to make it through that pallet for free just because of that extra haste still having BT up. We'll play all the way to 5, but the problem is we only have the single pallet here. We do get the stun, but with this broken, we're not going to have a lot to work with here. We're going to get stuck on this edge map. 5 rushes in hand for Obi. This should just be another quick down. I'm not too sure if Leggy is DS. If he is, it would be miraculous for our survivors. Is it? It is! Beautiful stuff. That's exactly what we needed if we are CatJam. This will extend this chase, being able to make mid-map exactly what you need if you are Leggy, but I'm not too sure we're going to be able to make this window. That will be a down following up very shortly. We did not pop a gen for that chase. It will be the 3v1 at 4 gens. We know Mercy is on a gen that's around 75%. I believe it would be on the top side of the map. Stormslight was able to get reset in the background. This gen is all the way over. I believe this is 3. This looks like... No, this is 8, sorry, and they're doubling. But we're here to... Interesting. I thought we were going to take the hits to get Leggy off the hook there, but we've opted to not. And I believe that gen was being doubled, so that's really problematic for CatJam. A tag on top of this Gen 8, and we do obviously know Mercy is close by. We'll probably be wrapping it very shortly, but a down onto Stormslight would be very bad. Also, I would like to mention we did see a gen pop. I wouldn't be too surprised if that Gen 8 was deadlocked for a moment. I'm actually not too sure. Probably why we didn't see it pop to begin with, but the power of deadlock, we were able to prevent that gen from popping, and with Ruin now ticking away at it, a survivor not able to wrap it quick enough, we can slug and go back. It's not going to pop, and we immediately find Mercy death. Although we see Slunk on Shack as well, we might be able to get the tag around the gen. We have indeed. This is looking really bad, Hassa. We could be seeing this game get really ugly really fast.
I mean, it is starting to look like shambles here on the side of the survivors. So Sir Smunk just juicing up. This is what I absolutely love, the big Sir Smunk. He's gonna make the team. Oh my goodness, I thought he just outplayed Oblivion. So we are gonna get it down. We do spot Storm's Light though, moving around a little bit. No, is that Mercy? That might be Mercy here. So overall, there goes the Ruin in the background. The pressure is definitely starting to build on the side of the survivors. But very nicely played from Mercy. Death putting on a really nice performance just to duke away Oblivion. So this has been very nicely played from Mercy. Now I'm sure Sir Smonk's going to get picked up, and he does in the background. So this will be Eruption put here over towards the bottom of the end. So far so good on the side of Oblivion. He hasn't really made too many errors realistically. Obviously body blocked Storm's Light when Lee was hooked in basement. So he very nicely played that. So honestly, I think, you know, this will be incredible. No Headhunter on the lineup today, Chief.
Yeah, I think Hunter's not playing Survivor because he will be our killer player coming up for the reverse fixture. So probably just wanted to take all his time for the Blight set, focusing on that. I would assume that's why he is not playing Serve for them, despite being probably a more confident Serve against this killer. Saying that, we do have another very confident Survivor, Mercy Death, entering Chase. That tag has not gotten very much distance at all. We see Smunk lingering potentially for the flashlight save, but instead of that, Mercy making her way to top. We're just going to leave and go for Smunk now, getting that early tag before he's able to cross anywhere, stuck mid. Both of them now having to run top. Problem becomes so apparent now. We're stuck on the other side of the choke, away from our gens. We have that beautiful 4-gen bottom, and if we are able to get a down here and go back for Storm's Light, he's almost certainly on one of those gens. Mercy doing just enough on that pallet, crouching around beautifully to prevent the down, but actually does have a pallet here to work around. The rush is back in hand, but a pallet to work with for Mercy. This chase is pretty much what they needed, Hasso, at this point. You know, we need someone to last so we can get a little bit of momentum back, but with that pallet dropped, it is very unsafe, and we do see Oblivion able to get the down because of that. And look at that, we see on 8, the Eruption Aura has caught out Storm's Light. If she goes down on the bottom side of the map, and she's going to take this tag, really bad position to be in right now if you are Storm's Light. Getting tagged there gives you not a lot to work with. We had to head basically back to where our gen was, and if we get down here, we get that medium, and the console ping. For those who don't know, Storm's Light is console, can't use exit lag, so is playing at ping a lot higher than our other serves, and a hit like that goes to show what can happen when you're in that scenario. So that is a down on the bottom side of the map in our 4-gen. We know where the reset is. We find Sir Smunk. We know that Mercy Death is rotating. We found her out. This is going to be a tag as well. Now we're stuck here. Hunter, a Hunter? You're Hunter now, mighty praise from me, but Hunter, I guess. We're both stuck topside, our survivors are injured. The game's slipping out of our hands if we are CatJam. We know where both servers are. We can just let Storm's Light sit there for as long as we want, as long as she doesn't bleed out at fresh. No penalty for it. We might even be able to get it down around this hill onto Mercy. She's made it all the way to 2. I mean, what do we...
It is rough, bro. It is rough.
What do we do? What do we do, Hasso? Tell me.
I mean, look, on the side of the survivors, they are in a bit of a sticky situation. Obviously, I've only popped one generator. Sir Smunk and Mercy Death, both known where they are. It does Oblivion, so you know it is starting to anchor more problems, and you'll probably see Sir Smunk in the background get the pick up here. And Sir Smunk sitting a generator gets caught off guard. So hold on a second. So, Chief, I actually have a very important question. What happens if Storm's Light bleeds out as a penalty?
It is a half hook stage penalty, standard in OSL, but that won't be the case. Storm's Light is back on her feet, and she will most definitely be getting hooked once her chase ends. She has this jungle gym to work with, and this pallet at the RNL here, but if she is able to get down here, and she is, that will just be a 4k4. Now, like you were saying a little bit earlier, a fresh bleed does matter. It will be minus half a hook state. It will mean that the tie is no longer possible on the side of CatJam if they were to achieve a 4k4, but that is one slug found. We know where the second is of Storm's Light over here. Now we just got to find Smunk, and dare I say, it's not going to be too hard of a task. Look at that bleed out timer. We have so much time. That's roughly 3 whole minutes to work with to find this survivor, and if we find him in that time, it's all for naught. This will just be a 4k4 with no penalties, Hassa.
Yeah. I mean, I know Sir Smonk gonna get found, and he does in the end, so unfortunate there. But Storm's Light still on the ground. I mean, no pun intended, but the survivors could be cooking up a storm, honestly. If Headhunter completes, okay, so we have found them off, never mind. So, Headhunter not going to have an easy win on a 4k5 for people, well, for people that don't really know how the scoring works. 4k with no generators being completed will be the win for Team CatJam. They pull it off, so...
To life and it basically crashes the plane into one of these survivors' houses because there's just no way, right? It's not doable. This is a result that's so impossible to meet. But as long as Hunter is able to stay calm, play his game, and just put on a performance he can be proud of, I'm thinking that is probably the best he can do. And I think it's what he should be aiming for. So as we do load in, I hope that is what Hunter is thinking. Make himself proud, put on a good display, have a little bit of fun, because that's what it's about at the end of the day, especially for a team like CatJam. They are here to play. They just love the game. So that's why they've been around the whole time, even if they don't put up the best results from time to time. Like I said, 4k4 isn't the most standard result, and it does make a win con very, very difficult. But they're here to have fun, and that's exactly what I think they're going to do.
Yeah, beautifully said as we load in here on the big Suffo Pit 1. Headhunter, beautiful man. Okay, maybe I should have worded that differently, but beautiful guy, top bloke, and I'm hoping the best for him. So I'm going to load in with Oppression. I'm going to get not the tag, unfortunately. We are a bit unlucky there with the tag, but we do spot out Oblivion. Now we are going to rush straight off the rip. Now we do get the swing through the pallet. Good on the big Headhunter. So he could get Oblivion down nice and fast now. Headhunter has to play as aggressive as possible to get the most doable. And we unfortunately just swung a little bit too late there, and we basically phased through the survivor. So right now, Headhunter is probably waiting, or should I just call him Hunter? Is probably the best way to do it. But Hunter's probably waiting for his rushes to come back, so he should zone break this pallet and just play for it, because the window is right there, and it easily can be made. So we are opting to just play for the M1, and we do get it down eventually. So yeah, I mean, Oppression, in my opinion, Chief, it is a very, strong perk if survivors aren't on generators. They don't expect the skill check all the time. It is one where you don't really expect it until the perk is active. So you sort of need to combat generators more like when they're getting damaged. So it's more of one of those perks. But overall, good start for the big man. He needs to find another survivor. We are going to locate one at the Shack pallet side. So Chief, so far, I mean, Headhunter, he's already got one hook at 5 gens. He's going to head back for his tunnel out. I mean, overall, he got a nice little fast down, and we do see a gen in the background. It is looking a little rough right now, as he needs to get this down to the next survivor.
Yeah, he does indeed. Hatter, the quicker this down comes, the better. We are already at the tie condition. Any gens popping would mean a loss for CatJam. But the problem right now is that obviously we've come back for our tunnel out. Our gens that we saw, one popped at 5. We know Shack is very high progress despite the pop. It does have oppression on it, which, might I say, we're getting flashbacks to 2023, but that is the down on the IBS in mid, which is what you need as the killer on Suffer. You really do need to get your downs in mid so you can hook on the cross. This hook is very, very good for the killer early game, but unfortunately it is pretty out of the way of our gens. We know that Shaq, like I said, is very high progress, but we do think Oblivion is probably close by, having worked this gen. Yeah, just exactly stealthing very close by on this 10 pallet here. Hunter doesn't have the time to look for him. He does need to patrol his gen's bottom if he wants to get this win con anywhere near possible, but as you can see, he's kind of just rushing around the top side. He does have good gens here to give him some credit. If he is able to hold these for the entirety of the game, he will get a very respectable result. He could 4k2, he could 4k1 with these gens. It's lovely. And with IBS being hooked right in the middle of them, he doesn't need to do too much else. But the win con being a 4k5, the tie being a 4k4, with this playstyle, it is out of the picture, as you do see it being met. Void take the set with that generator popping, and that one at Shack is far behind. Oh, sorry, this one bottom mid probably isn't far behind. We have gone to check it now, but it is all too late. IBS, the Delhi player, unhooks himself, and we do see Zyrus here having to take chase just close to this general take tag. He's going to drop the pallet. That's cooked all of his distance, son. We are stuck here now. This down will be coming in very shortly if we are not careful. Hunter getting a bit flicky with it, but missing his rushes all the same. Now, for Zyros, can't leave this pallet. Actually opts to Jiggy. He will be making this pallet mid-6. I did not realize he had this here, but he does greet it. Hunter here has Bloodlust 1 in hand. He tries to rush, but he's having some internet issues. He won't be able to get this flick. Oh my word, yes he will. What am I saying? Never mind. Hunter is clean with it. That's the third down of the trial, but 3 fresh hooks on a killer without pain res. That is not the most ideal scenario, but we know IBS is probably still somewhere top. That was the gen bottom min popping. We know that die. But yeah, it is Waze. I was going to say, believe it was Waze. Rotated it after Zyros entered Chase, getting hit through that pallet there, and Main also did pop. That was probably from the combined abyss of IBS and Oblivion, doubling that gen on the top side. So, I think Hunter now obviously does have that very nice regen while committing waves, because getting the slug here would be nice to be able to protect this hook, but the gens are all top. We have our survivors able to double for this chase. They don't really need to worry too much about Zyros if Waze is able to last. He will not be though. That is the down. We have 2 downs bottom, and unless someone is crossed, we also a bunch of loud noise notifications. We get the unhook in the background. I believe that is Oblivion crossing, and the IBS has been reset in the background as well. That was probably a self-reset with the medkit on Delhi, and Oblivion rotated to unhook Zyros. Now every survivor reset, 3 of our generators top, 4 stages, 4 fresh hooks. I won't lie, the position Hunter found himself in quite early with the hook here was pretty ideal, but because of the win con and him playing for it, sort of a very mixed playstyle where he didn't know if he could or he couldn't, has kind of cost him here. He's not gotten himself in a nice position for this endgame. We still have all of these gens top to work with, which are pretty easy to hold once you start depleting these resources, but because every chase was bottom, there are so many resources here to work around, and everyone's up and reset, and the gens don't have much progress, but that's too much, not too much of a worry, Hassa. So, where do you see this ending up? How many stages?
To be honest, around the 6th stage mark, I think, for the big man. I think that is probably where it will get, as we are going to spot our next survivor, which will be Waze. Now, I like I said earlier, I know a few of these players, especially from the ranked server, DVD, so I do know a few of these players. Oblivion, I don't really see him, but I do know Zeros is in there a little bit. So overall, Hunter just putting on a few flicky shots, so he's actually doing very nice. He's clearly confident in his blight, maybe not so much in the competitive scene, but to be fair, given this is what, it may be his first ever, comp game in a long time on the killer side, or maybe even his first ever one on killer, it is not easy to play killer. I remember doing my first one, and I was bloody so nervous. So, he's given it a really good shot here. So hopefully you can see a couple more downs here onto the big head Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, I think 6 is a little bit on the lower side from this position. I feel like if he was able to get this down onto Oblivion relatively quickly and then go for another, we could see 7 or 8 stages, which is below the average, but definitely from the position we had to play for, the playstyle we had to adopt. We see Waze here lurking for a beamer save. That may just be another quick down. We don't have a lot to work with other than this window. We will be taking the first tag, having to go far, far away from this slug now before we get a bit too precarious on the top side. But this will be the 5th stage as the gen does pop. Maybe 6 is on the money, so maybe he isn't going to be able to do much. He's going to hook right on this gate 12, and all he's got to do really is protect the president now. Could be seeing 6, could be seeing as much as 8, depends. Oh, more on the 7 side because everyone has been hooked once. Cyrus is already there to get the other. Wait, he's been caught out. Cyrus has been caught out. He's in chase. Hold on. Can we go see he's getting the trade? So, interesting to see. Will we just be taking the hook, getting the 7 stages? We will be. Lovely stuff. 7 stages, 4 fresh, most likely. Oblivion has second wind in pocket. He will be reset very, very shortly. The gate all the way down, I believe it was at 7, will be opened quite shortly. Waze is still lurking in mid. They might be playing for this again, Hassa.
Yeah, I mean, they do want as many stages out, Chief. I mean, fair enough, but I don't think that gate over there is being worked, so it's not so. We could hold on. No, okay, so Nelly already used that, so we are just opting to trade. Now, I am a bit confused what the play is here. This is what, 3 stages it almost seems.
So I think we're just playing stage roulette at this point, Hassa. We're kind of just deciding that we're gonna trade after trade after trade, and this time Hunter's not falling for it. He's decided to leave IBS on the ground. Actually, no, he wasn't able to convert the rushes onto Zyra, so he will be taking the hook. That will just be, how many is that? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 stage 4 fresh result. Not too bad from the uncle himself. Lovely stuff. Definitely not the 4K5 he needed to win the set, but still a result that I think, given the scenario, given how he had to play to try and achieve that win con, he can be not too mad about. Like you said, put on some lovely display. One of our survivors did load in with 300 ping. Not sure how, but you know, it is kind of what happens when we have the ping issues and the distance that we do between these two teams. But we are back. The lobby is set up yet again. We are ready and rolling. Krasu gameplay is coming to you in just a few seconds. Hasso is still here with me.
Yeah, I mean, had a bit of a lobby issue, or ping, should I say, issue on the side of Void. So hopefully it's not too bad this time. Hopefully we can actually play it. It does seem like we're moving a bit, but this is what we like to see. So Sir Smonk locked in. No, okay, I was about to say not again. So Sir Smonk on the Krausu. So honestly, Chief, this will be the result to determine. I just realized what the average stages will be. So Sir Smonk making history. This will determine for OCE what the average will be. And what a hit from Sir Smonk over the pallet. So very nicely done. And he will probably make this before the tower. We do get it because the ping fucks us over. So very nicely done on the side of Sir Smonk, Chief.
Yeah, I mean, very good start for Sir Spunk. Exactly what you want to see. Now, Hasso, you were saying that this will be the game that sets the benchmark for what we should be seeing in OSL. I'm not too sure we can be saying that just because of all of the ping circumstances, and like we said about CatJam, I'm not too sure how much they played the game. They are on the record saying they don't play the game very much near at all, so maybe not going to be the best judge, but I mean, hey, look, when you have the supposed weaker side already off to a very strong start, you could be looking at a nice little 4K very early, and that would just be beautiful for Sir Spunk. But we do in the background see Waze get FTP'd. That will be AR now broken heading over towards 1, and we see Waze all the way at 9 here. Will Sir Spunk, the lovely man, famous for his cross maps, be able to get that with his power? He will have to play for it yet again, not being able to hit it off that hill. Trying to get a little ricochet there, but yet again missing the rebound. Third rebound, no hit. We just need to get this infection so we can get back into head form and start getting those tags, because once you are infected, as we do see Waze get right now, these 50s aren't exactly 50s. You have such a long launch and so much movement to work with that every pallet becomes unsafe. But looky here, we know the counterplay. Oblivion right there playing Protect the President with Waze, making sure he's able to make another strong resource, but he sent it to Shek and he has been cut off. If we got hit there, I would have been very mad on the side of Waze. That would have been egregious, but we are able to make that vault. We do have no pallet here on this Sin car, and with such a long launch to work around, that will just be the down. We do see one gen popping and another with 50%, but oh my word, the flashlight save. Now that is exactly what Zyrus needed. That's a funny little view there. We see the third person reblind attempt. Waze will be able to get checked down, and Sir Monk will be eating that pallet, just going to vault after it. Vault over it right after Waze, continuing this tunnel that we will most likely be seeing another gen pop because of the immense amount of distance he was able to get. But will this hit? It just won't. We get another stun. We do see AR getting reset in the background, able to FTP Waze off of this hook again, and yet again we see Zyros here just able to play Protect the President. We're gonna have to switch out of head form. try and get this infect onto Zyro so we can start getting a tag onto him as well. But as we do see the Survivor break away from the main chase, we're actually gonna switch. We know that maybe going for the tunneler isn't the best play anymore, as we do see our second generator pop. We don't have a lot of pressure around the map, so very interesting to leave the tunneler at this point, but the infect onto Zyro means he can no longer play with ways to protect him. The third generator pops as well in the background. My word, maybe they had a bit more pressure than I was expecting, but the tag does not come in yet again. We just have a pallet slammed into our face if we are Sir Smunk, and once again, look at this. Team Void just playing around each other perfectly. We get the infect onto AR. We can't chase Zyros anymore because the body blocks were coming in. AR will be getting tagged over this pallet, and look at that ping. Oh my word, that delayed vault. But the life in hand to be able to work around Crane for a little bit longer. This is a very strong resource against Krasty. Gonna have to go around the pallet. We've made it all the way to the window. We are just able to slow vault, denying the Krasty to be able to roll behind us. And we don't make the pallet. Oh my word, what am I seeing? I thought he was so safe, Hassa.
I mean, that is a diabolical hit. That is what we call just cooked. That is fried. That is not a valid hit. I mean, the ping is screwing them over in a certain way. I mean, that might even be an unexpected, so it is, and we just infect Zeros right away. So this is a fresh side of the playing now. I mean, Chief, what's Sir Smonk's best bet now? I mean, he's sort of got to just play for the best result, of course, but does he go for what? This man's insane at curving around the corner. So, you know, is it best to go for freshers here, do you think? Or what do you think? What's the best result that he can go for tunneling out or for playing for freshers?
Well, I mean, look, we do see ways on a gen that is very high progress, and the issue now is the tunnel out that he would be able to get onto AR, finding him, because he knows, sorry, let me rephrase this. He knows where AR is, and it would be the most ideal chase for him to find. Because of it being the unhooked Survivor, you are able to identify where they could have gone very quickly, but because he is second wind, he's going to get away scot-free. But that doesn't even matter. We've just found ways on his gen. If we do commit to this chase, we will be able to get our second hook onto him. Although, with that gen being as progressed as they are, Zyros now getting unhooked, we will be able to wrap that gen for Zyros' chase. He will need to last a little bit. We don't have the pallet here. This is the window side, so we've opted too jiggy. We've made this pallet all the way to 12. But the bright side for Waze is we need to get that infection. But my word, Smoke's able to get that beautiful rebound. And now we just have this really bad pallet to play around. For the Krasu, you can just curve both sides of this rock incredibly. Like, this is just another down, and there's not a lot you can do about it if you are Waze. So that will be his second hook of the trial, the fourth hook overall. Oblivion, I'm not too sure if he's on that Gen 10. I think he is, and we do see another double all the way at 4. So, oh my god, and it's the one at 4 that pops. 10 is such high progress. We actually are just going to see all the generators pop very, very shortly. We're still in the 4v1, so there's not a lot we can do to deny that from happening, other than getting our eruption up. But behind, Hasso Smunk has not waited for eruption. So the gen just doesn't have that eruption proc on it. He's sitting here. He's stuck on the gen. He's literally sitting on top of it. You know what?
What
he knows
wrong
he
with
needs
this
to protect.
camera?
I don't know. This is really interesting.
What
I
is
think
this?
This is a new spectator bug that I think is because we caught Smunk swapping from head form to human form. I think that's what we're calling it. Head form, human form. I'm just going with that. He's got a bit of a warp camera, but he is able to catch Oblivion and Zyros on those gens. He gets the infect onto Oblivion. He will get the tag. Oh my god, he just doesn't get the tag around this rock. But we do have Zyros here to protect him, making sure he isn't going to go down on top of this gen. And if we do get the infect onto Zyros, I mean, both of them are going to be in a bit of a sticky situation. Instead, we're just going to give the M1 away. Oblivion's going to be able to take some distance away from the gen, and with the M1, so is Zyros. If we do get the infect, though, we will be able to take a very quick chase onto him. Instead, we have to chase Oblivion now, him being the only infected survivor. We do know that Waze and AR are still on the 12 side of the map. They may be well and truly wrapping 10 at this point. That gen could be popping very shortly. I think Smunk is not going to be able to get this down very shortly. This is one of the only pallets on the map that is safe against the Krasu, but we didn't win our fourth 50 in a row. That will be a tag onto Oblivion. If I am Smunk at this point, I'm not chasing this. Oh, actually, yes, I am. This is fresh. Never mind. That was going to be my point, but he's already doing it. Lovely stuff from Smunk. But instead of that, Waze is here to protect the president yet again. If we can curve around him, which is very doable on the Krasu, get Oblivion down, get that fresh hook, we are still looking at a respectable result. So instead of allowing Waze to body block us forever, we do get the infect, so we can take the M1 onto him. And before these gates are opened, that means he he's still playing Protect the President, which I think is completely correct, but because of the mobility we do have on the crest, we're going to be able to get in front of our survivors. We're cutting off everybody. We know that Oblivion is still on the inside of the map. Zyros and AR are at the gate now. They will be able to reset and continue to play Protect the President. Monk getting a bit greedy there, taking the down onto Waze. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get the down onto Oblivion now. He needs to cut him off and swing around our survivors. I'm not too sure he's going to be able to do it. That will just be the outs. That's only 5 stages for Smunk.
Realistically, for a killer that we haven't seen played, you know, I think it's bad. I mean, look, I don't know what the average is in other tournaments, but
Void v CatJam. It is Oblivion on the Krasu versus the Survivor lineup of CatJam. Hasso, what are we thinking so far? Have you been impressed by the Krasu in OSL? This is the first time we've seen it, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it fits into OSL fairly well. I think it's one of those killers that you need to give it a shot before you actually rule it in or rule it out. I think it's overall, you know, we'll see during this game, this lineup, you know, running a bald ace, so that gives me a bit of neckbeard vibe. So, you know, we are gonna be slithering around the map on the side of Oblivion now. Oblivion has played the killer sets tonight for the side of Void, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these survivors again are playing on ping, so ping matchup, a bit of differential in the ping, so Stormlight, Fizz, Sursmonk, and Leggy, so we are seeing Mercy Death get swapped out here for Fizz, so this should be a really good lineup. Now, we do have some pretty decent gens that aren't terrible. I mean, they're actually really nice. So, you know, we are going to take the chase here onto Fizz and hopefully get a tag here if we're on Oblivion. So, you know, playing on this killer with ping is, yeah, I mean, look at Smog trying to get in there. So, you know, the big Sir Smog, you know, just trying to get a bit of chase time. I like this from the big man. So, Chief, what are your thoughts so far on the start that we've had?
I mean, I just find it a bit funny. Monk seems to just be appearing and disappearing at will. We saw him disappear at 6. I think he has Quick and Quiet and Dance with me, which is how that interaction happened. But, you know, he's just reappeared in the chase, protecting Fizz, but unfortunately going down in the meantime himself, all the way at 7. This is very close to a pain res ideal for Oblivion. Actually, look at these pain reses in general. They're all on the left side of the map, and we're dying 3 from now on. It's going to be a bit problematic, but this mid hook is beautiful if you are the killer. All things considered, I don't think it's that bad of a start from the Survivors. Definitely a lot better than the start we did see from Void, but I mean, we saw how that game was able to end up. Oblivion is just going to basically protect the ground. He has his generators very close to this hook. I mean, look at them. He has main, he has 2, he has that gen over towards 4, bottom mid as well. They're all so close and within reach of the hook. He's holding the spit out. He knows if he can get an infection, he can get a very quick tag onto a survivor, and he does a lovely snipe onto Stormlight in main. Getting this unhook with Fizz injured and Stormlight infected is going to be quite difficult, but we've given it for free and we've gotten the FTP, so we're actually opting on the side of Oblivion to go for the injured survivor. We're gonna not be able to get that down. Leggy is just in time able to make that revolt back on the L wall, but with the infection coming in very shortly, I'm sure after not that shot, but probably the next on these LTs, very hard to play around as the survivors against the Krasu once we are in head form. So we've actually, beautiful stuff, we made it away before we got into a precarious situation, but now with this, oh! Leggy getting the stun, beautiful stuff, once again zoning back to these LTs. Very hard to play around for the survivors against the Krasu. We just have so much launch to work with. I mean, like, neither of these window sides are safe, and that will be the down onto Leggy. A beautiful little chase to pick up there with only 1 health state to work around, but that will be his second hook, only 2 of 6 needed, and another pain res. We didn't see a gen pop for either of these chases, so I'm getting a little worried if we are CatJam, you know. I don't know where their progress is. I think they're triple splitting, which means they do have 3 gens high progress, but oh no, we've just been body blocked. Hasso, I mean, the problem becomes now is, right, that we kind of can't have survivors getting into chase as quickly as we are right now, you know, and we're sort of still within these gens. We do see the first one pop all the way over deep 3, but Somsight will be taking a tag very shortly, having to run towards this. This is another injured survivor. It was Fizz working this gen, so they might just have to reset. But Monk in the background did get the unhook onto Leggy. I would assume a reset will be coming in play. Leggy's gonna have to last without a lot of assistance. Monk needs to get on a gen and get that progress going. We can't concede this much this early, but Leggy is able to get that stun yet again. The infect should be coming in very shortly. Actually, Oblivion just missing it. Maybe this time he won't. No, yet again. The issue Oblivion is having right now, for those who are unaware, is that he's shooting at the ground, and we hit a dead hard on 200 ping. I mean, Leggy is putting on a show so far. Beautiful stuff with these chases, but I mean, once again, there you go, second gen of the trial popping, but I really feel like we should have seen another pop for these chases. Leggy's done more than enough, and look, we've just died right next to one of our actors. This gen that we see Storms like working injured is gonna be erupted now, and we have another pain res if we are able to get it down onto Stormlight or Fizz sometime shortly, preventing that main gen from popping. But the issue is now, like, obviously Leggy's chases have been good. Our pressure is very low. The gens that we were pressuring are near the hook, so we kind of have a stalemate yet again, where Oblivion can sit just in between them both and not really concede too much. And we really, really need this unhook to get him out of the gens and for this chase to last. Monk can definitely play with Leggy off of this chase. It's probably what needs to happen, but this reset, even more importantly, needs to happen first. Hassa.
Yeah, I think, to be completely honest with you, I think there's a lot to say about it. I mean, we're running a very aggressive build on the side of Oblivion with this. So, playing this very aggressively, and we are going to get Leggy out the game very shortly on the side of Oblivion, unless Leggy can last. Now, I tell you what, Chief, it's not going to be easy, especially on 200 MS and against the killer that just swings through things. So definitely will be not an easy run, as we are going to come in and take a... What was that? Did that not hit, or does it... How does that work? No injure?
So what happens, Hasso, if you are not infected when you do hit a survivor who is not infected in head form, it only applies a third of an infection. That is why Fizz got away from that scot-free, but obviously did take a little bit of an infection and did end up getting M1 as Oblivion back into human form. But nevertheless, he will continue the chase onto Leggy. Leggy, once again, just putting on another little chase. Like, he's doing all that he needs to. Just able to avoid that, wasting his dead out in the meantime. Unfortunately, Oblivion did bait it out by missing the swing, but look at this, right? We've missed another swing, and Stormlight's now here to play with our survivor. Leggy will be able to greet this pallet forever. Stormlight does get infected in the background. We try to short swing through it, but Stormlight is able to avoid the tag. Still able to play with Leggy, taking this hit now. Leggy will have to last. We're dropping the pallet to give him as much distance as possible. Stormlight will now have to go and find a reset, probably with Fizz in the background, so they can get those gens pumping in the 3v1, because Leggy doesn't have a lot to work with outside of this pallet, but we do get the stun, buying us some more distance our way. But the Krasi is going to be able to catch up with this head form. We're going to have to go and spot. Actually, hold on, we've decided to leave Leggy. We've gone and found Stormlight edge map. This is another threshold. This will be a pain res. I'm a little bit worried once again about CatJam's gen pressure, because they have spent a lot of time protecting Leggy. We knew Smunk was doing it originally. We saw Fizz come in. We know that Stormlight has just done the same and did not get away scot-free from it, now taking her first of the trial. And look at this. Our survivor's injured, Leggy broken because of the infect. We'll have to play so slowly. They have to get this reset and let Stormlight sit for a little bit. We can't be seeing what we saw previously with the Leggy unhook. We unhooked Leggy when our survivors were resetting. It conceded a lot of free pressure. If we do that again, my word, it really doesn't look like we're on ping. We're getting so many stuns on the side of CatJam. But yeah, we need Stormlight to sit. Smunk can't get hasty with this unhook. Obviously now he won't be in chase, but that will be a tag onto him yet again. This is where things start to get a little bit dicey. We have a lot of injured survivors. No one can really get this unhook, and we don't need to worry too much. We don't need to worry about much else on the side of Oblivion, because all we've got to do is deny this unhook, and at this point, that will be the win. If this survivor dies on hook, that is the win for Void. I'm actually also trying to work out right now. Hasso, you might be able to inform me. If Stormlight goes second, is it also the win for Void? Do they win on fresh hooks? I don't remember the fresh hooks of the last set. Can I get that confirmed for me very quickly?
I think it was 3 fresh. Yes, because we got a fresh out the door. We got 1
Okay.
fresh out the door.
So
yes.
that'll be the Tycon then if they go second. They do go second. So we're at the Tycon. Fizz is immediately in chase. All we've got to do on the side of Oblivion is commit this chase, get it down onto Fizz, and that is the win. All things considered, I don't think CatJam has played this that poorly. Like I said, the only real concern I have is the amount of gen pressure they did concede very early on. But that being said, Fizz is going to go down. That will be the 6th stage of Oblivion's trial. The win for Void secured. Hasso. What do we think they're going to be playing for now? It is an interesting scenario. We don't have a tunnel out just yet. We have 2 survivors Death Hook. We could still be seeing a 4K if another Death Hook survivor is found very shortly. I mean, we immediately find Sir Smoke right here and we bolted into the killer. With life, we do have life. We're going to be able to take as much distance as possible. I thought that was a very interesting play from Sir Smoke, but I understand the vision now. He doesn't have a lot to work with other than his pallet, which is so unsafe against the Cressy. Winning that 50 nicely, but as soon as he vaults, the lunge is going to come around, and he didn't even need to vault for Oblivion to be able to make it the whole way around. That is another hook. We do see Fizz unhooked in the background, but this hook is all the way mid-map. Getting him off the hook, if we are injured, is going to be near impossible, and our only healthy survivor is all the way at 3, sitting this gen. If Fizz and Stormlight are found out resetting, but they're just working too, so they're trying to pop this gen. If he goes here now, this could be really problematic, and Oblivion is able to. We can't be allowing these survivors to go down. Holding this SD is a little interesting when the Grasu is still in head form because he is able to catch up so quickly, but we do make a pallet nonetheless. Stormlight will have to play for her life in this chase if she goes down. That was a very interesting interaction. Oblivion just not being able to swing quick enough because he pulled up his spit, but nonetheless, Stormlight is able to survive on this pallet running into Oblivion and going down, but we do see 2 pop in the background. This will be the 3v1 at 1 generator remaining. We need to get Smunk off that hook as quick as possible. If we are able to deny that unhook, never mind. There's the 5th gen of the trial popping. Sir Spunk's off the hook. Hasso, we're going to be seeing out. Definitely isn't the win. We already know that it's secured for Void, but I mean, my word, they've done a good job. Considering all the pressure they did concede early, they've managed to pull it back. They've got all these gens popped, and if Leggy's able to last the chase, judging by his chases all tonight, I believe he will be able to. I'm sure at this point we're going to see some else.
Yeah, it is looking like it will be out. I mean, they are resetting in the background, so I am a bit confused. I mean, Sir Smonk does nearly have the full reset, so, you know, we are just winning some crazy 50s here, just spamming our vault here, and it will be a down there finally on the leg. But I mean, I'll be shocked if we don't see outs here. It does look like it will be outs.
So I know why they've reset the gates. I don't know if you spotted where they are. They're 3 and 6, and the chase was 5. We couldn't send the gates injured. We would have conceded the death onto the other survivors. That's why the reset came in. That explains why they had to play so slow for the gates, and it's why the 4K is yet again on the table. We need to see some beautiful stealthing on the side of Smunk and Fizz as they try to slowly get these gates open. Will they be able to is the question. They're both on these gates. We see Fizz having to hop off the gate. I would assume Oblivion is pressuring her. He is either, rather, indeed. Now we just need Fizz to be able to last for Oblivion's gate. Yeah, these are the people that are doing the thing. Sir Smunk is the one opening the gate. We need to see Fizz able to last for Smunk's gate to open, and we do. Now Smunk is able to protect Fizz. We will not be seeing. Oh, Smunk is actually just letting Fizz go. We've made it out. Look at this. And lovely. Oh, we're not having the lovely little interaction. I guess Oblivion didn't want the little head pat from Smunk, but that is